illa tibazan. They only follow conjecture, guesswork. وَمَا قَتَلُوهُ يَقِينًا. For the surety they killed him not. The most emphatic, most dogmatic statement that one can make. And the only one who can make such statements is God himself. Because he knows what is involved, what is true and what is not. So, the Quran says, they didn't kill him and they didn't crucify him. The Christian on the other hand, he says, look, we have a written record. How can a man 1,000 years in time from the happening and 600 years in time and 1,000 miles away in distance, how can he tell you what happened in Jerusalem some 600 years before? The Muslim reasons that this is God Almighty inspiring Muhammad to say the things that Muhammad is made to say and to have it recorded the way it is recorded. The Christian says, I do not believe in the Quran. If we had believed in the Quran, we would be today 2 billion Muslims. The Christians and the Muslims put together, both believing in Jesus, we both believe in Jesus, we would have been together, 2 billion people who believe in Jesus and Muhammad, and all that would have happened if the Christians believe in the Quran. But I said, look, since we don't believe in the Quran, we go by what is given to us in our Bible. So the Holy Quran tells us, وَقَالُوا, and they say, لَنْ يَدْخُلَ الْجَنَّةَ إِلَّا مَنْ كَانَ هُودًا أَوْ نَصَارَى. That you Muslims will never enter Jannah. There is no heaven for you. There is no salvation for you. Unless you become a Jew or unless you become a Christian. In answer to that, God Almighty tells us in the Quran, said, تِلْكَ أَمَانِيُّهُمْ, that this is their wishful thinking, vain desires, hallucination. We say bakwas, barbara. Don't get frightened. Qul. God Almighty tells us, Qul, tell them, say, tell them. How to burhan? Produce your burhan, your proof. In kuntum sadiqeen, if you are speaking the truth, let us have a look at your burhan, your record. And the Christians have produced the Bible in 2,000 different languages. 2,000 different languages. He said, look, this is what my Bible says. My Bible says this, my Bible says that. My Bible says this, my Bible says that. Allah is commanding the Muslim to demand proof. It presupposes that when proof is produced, you'll be able to analyze it. Otherwise it makes no sense. You're asking, where's your certificate? Where is your identity? Where is your passport? The passport controller. So, in other words, the passport controller knows that what you're going to produce, what does a passport look like, and whether it is genuine or not, he will be able to analyze it. Similarly, the Muslim is expected to analyze his book. Hatu burhanakum. Produce your burhan, your proof, in kuntum sadiqeen. So the Christians has produced his proof. He says, you see, we are told in the Gospel of Matthew, in the Gospel of Mark, in the Gospel of Luke, in the Gospel of St. John, that Christ died and he was resurrected after 3 days. This is the book. This is the authorized King James Version of the Bible, printed by the Christians. Authorized King James Version of the Bible. This is what they call the red letter Bible. Red letter Bible. This one. Red letter Bible. Meaning everything that Jesus spoke is in red in this book. I might just share with you that only 10% of the 27 books of the New Testament are in red. Only 10%. I mean 90% are black. I mean not one word of Jesus. Not even a red dot is to be found in this 90% of the Bible. With regards to the Gospels, we Muslims, we say that you see there are, as the Christians claim, they have discovered 24,000 different manuscripts of the Bible. 24,000 manuscripts of the New Testament they have at their disposal. But they also confess that no two are identical. Can you imagine? 24,000 books to support your book, but no two are identical. No two out of 24,000 are identical. They're all different. 24,000, all different books. Amazing, amazing situation. Then we are telling the Christian, they said, look, the books, as you put them, as you write about them, as you address them, as you describe them, you say the Gospel according to St. Matthew. It's written here. Bishop, sir, it's written in the Bible, my Bible. The Gospel according to St. Matthew, the Gospel according to St. Mark, the Gospel according to St. Luke, the Gospel according to St. John. In the Bible. Every Bible has that expression, according to. I'm asking, why according to? Why according to? You know why? Because Matthew didn't sign his name. Mark didn't sign his name on those manuscripts. Mark didn't sign his name. Luke didn't sign his name. Nobody autographed it. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, they didn't sign, they didn't autograph, and they didn't even put a thumbprint. So this is mine. Such a document in any court of law, and in the most primitive country, any country in the world, such a document you want to present to prove your case, it will be thrown out of court in 2 minutes. In 2 minutes they throw your claim out. This will of your father, is it signed? Is it attested? Is it signed? No. Has it got witnesses? You say no. It says, go rubbish, don't waste our time. The court will throw it out. Do you know that? These 24,000 books, not a single one of them is attested. No signatures anywhere. So I said, in any court of law, in any civilized country in the world, this evidence about the death and resurrection of Jesus would be thrown out in 2 minutes. But where is the fun? Let's say we did just that. We did just that. We said, look, I close my case. Bishop, I close my case. Because this document, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and according to, means they didn't sign it. They didn't write it. It is assumed. People assume that they wrote it. There is internal evidence to prove that they didn't. But we have no time to go into that. We have no time to go into that debate. In any court of law, it will be thrown out. But I said, where is the fun? I said, dismiss. The meeting dismissed. Finish. Go home. Go home. Look, I proved my case. That in a court of law, this evidence is not acceptable. And I know you won't be satisfied. You know, you took all the trouble to come to this hall. I don't know what sacrifices you have made. And the bishop has come all the way from Vancouver. It's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair to him. To be gentlemanly, to be courteous, I said, let us now examine what is written. The Christians are telling us that on the day of the crucifixion, 300 prophecies of the Old Testament were fulfilled in one day. 300. You know what a stupendous thing. 300 of the things that were said in the Old Testament, how things are going to happen, this thing is going to happen, that everything was fulfilled. 300 prophecies fulfilled in one day. And what I'm saying, that the greatest anomaly, something inexplicable, that the prophecy made by Jesus himself is not fulfilled. You are bringing from the Old Testament 300 prophecies to prove your case. But Jesus himself, what he said, that itself is not fulfilled. Amazing. You thumb-sucking, dragging from the Old Testament 300 different prophecies to prove your case, but what Jesus said, that itself is not fulfilled. So what are you referring to? I said, you see, the Jews came to Jesus again and again. They came with poses and riddles. They were always trying to catch him out, make a mockery of him, make fun of him. Now they come to him in Matthew chapter 12, verses 38, 39, 40. They come to him, they say, Ya Muallimu, nuridu an nara minka ayatan. Said, Master, we would have a sign of thee. We want you to show us a miracle to convince us that you are the man we are waiting for. If you are the man of God, then do something that we can't do, and something supernatural, like walking on the water, flying in the air like a bird. Come. Fly like a bird, or give life back to the dead. Do something, man, that we can't do, then we can acknowledge that you are great. You are the man appointed by God. Sign means a miracle. We would have a sign of thee. Ya muallimu nuridu an nara minka ayatan. Fa'ajaba wa qala lahum. But he answered and said unto them, Jilun shirirun wa fasikun yatlubu ayatan. It's an evil and adulterous generation. and